A few months following the destruction of the first Death Star, Darth Vader was tasked to straighten things out on the mid-rim world of Shu-Thoran. Shu-Thoran was a wealthy planet that had its monarchical rulers align with the Empire by providing its rich minerals in exchange for protection and sovereignty within its own borders. However, following the Death Star's destruction, some of the mining barons of the planet started to stop producing for the Empire, as a means to keep the profits for themselves, and rumors began to spread that the ruling family was beginning to secretly aid the growing rebellion on the planet. So Lord Vader arrived expecting to meet with the Shu-Thoran king and make sure he understood who held the power in their relationship, and to ensure that he continued to meet his agreed upon quotas to the Empire. As he landed on the planet, Vader came with a gift at hand, and was greeted by the second princess of the ruling family, named Trios. She explained to him that her father was too old to come meet him in person on the landing bay. But before taking Vader straight to the throne room to meet with her father, the princess decided to show him some of her planet's culture. She took him to a ceremonial ball where the dukes and barons of the mining companies were performing a cultural dance. She explained to Vader that her family needed to keep these people satisfied through these grand gestures to ensure that they remained loyal to them, as well as meet the Empire's mining quotas and to discourage them from having any thoughts of rebellion. Vader simply didn't care about the ceremonial ball or for her family's reasonings for hosting them, telling her that he and the Empire didn't care how they supplied the ores, just that they do. While there, Vader was approached by one of the mining dukes, who insisted that he dance with his daughter, and that it'd be an insult for a guest to not dance at such an event. The Duke then got angered when Vader refused to dance with his daughter, and he began to shout at the Dark Lord. Finally, not having the nerve to deal with this nonsense, Vader finally agreed to dance, so he picked up the Duke with the Force and chucked him into the air in the middle of the ball. The entire ballroom went silent as this happened. As the Duke landed back down, Vader sarcastically asked if anyone else wished to be his partner. Shortly after making that statement, the ceiling of the ballroom began to melt, and a massive mining drill bust through. As it landed into the ballroom, a group of rebellious soldiers exited the drill and began to fire upon Vader. Behind the scenes, this entire event was orchestrated by the king of the planet in order to assassinate the Emperor's right hand. The king had his youngest daughter lure Vader into a trap, but to make it seem like those soldiers attacking him were from a traitorous mining baron and not from his official royal army. However, Vader was fully aware of the king's traitorous plot against him and the Empire from the very beginning, as shortly after he arrived to the planet, Vader dispatched his own assassin droids to take care of the king and the other members of the ruling family. Anyway, back at the ballroom, Vader quickly killed all of the soldiers that attacked him from the mining drill. Still playing along with her father's plan, Trios acted surprised and insisted that those soldiers were from a rogue baron who sought to rebel against the Empire. She told him that the safest path to her father's throne room would be to take the underground tunnels. Vader followed, pretending to not know of what was to come. When they arrived into the tunnels, a massive boulder came crashing down and blocked their means of escape. As that happened, lava began to pour down from the ceiling. Seeing the situation she brought them both in, Vader was impressed by her willingness to sacrifice herself for a cause. Vader then knocked her out and carried her on his back as he made his escape by riding a metal platform he cut from the wall. When Vader finally arrived at the door of the throne room, he woke Trios up. Realizing that both of her father's plans on killing him failed, Trios made a desperate attempt at trying to kill him by taking out her blaster, but Vader just quickly disarmed her without hesitation. Vader then forced his way past the throne room doors and showed her what was inside. The throne room was littered with corpses of her family and the royal guards. Vader's assassin droids from earlier had accomplished their job well. Trios ran up to her father's body and began to mourn for him. As she was doing that, Vader came up to her and finally presented the so-called gift he had with him from the very beginning. Inside of it was a rock. It confused the princess, so Vader explained to her that that rock was what remained of Alderaan. It was to remind her of what happened to planets that resisted the Emperor's will. He then appointed her as Queen of Shu-Thoran, giving her her deceased father's crown. He made it clear that although she now ruled the world, she ought not to forget who she really served. Feeling confident she wouldn't make the same mistakes as her father, he left her in the rubble and corpses of her family in the throne room. Thanks for watching this episode of The Lore Master. Be sure to subscribe for more Star Wars lore videos like these in the future. And may the Force be with you.